everybody. So glad you're with me today. I want to talk about following Jesus, what that looks like. Think about, why do we follow Jesus? Why do we follow anybody? For the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about the Come Follow Me series. And I want to talk about why we follow people. I mean, leaders all over the world are always asking themselves, how can I be a more cutting edge leader so that followers come to me? So why do you follow someone? A political party, a social cause, a nonprofit? Martin Luther King, Mandela, why did people follow him? Why do we still follow his teachings today? Influencers on social media, why do you follow them? It's really interesting because when you follow people, you learn about them. You follow them, you see their posts every day. If you like Martin Luther King, you've read his letters. If you like Mandela, you've read his book. You get to know them, you get to understand them, and it changes you. It changes your lens and your perspective of the world. And that's exactly what it was like for Jesus' followers. It's amazing that when he saw the Peter and James and John, and he said, "Come follow me," they did. It says in Mark, it's in all the Gospels, Mark and Luke and John, it says that, they dropped everything and they went to follow him. Like, they left their parents, they left their businesses. They had a fishing business. And he said, I just want you to follow me. And they left everything. They left their whole business. But why? What was so captivating about Jesus Christ walking in human flesh, being divine, on the earth, in Jerusalem, Israel, years ago, 2,000 years ago? What was so captivating about him that somebody would want to follow him? Have you ever been loved? Have you ever known you are loved? Like, for everything that you are, unconditional, absolute, abandoned love? I have the feeling that's what these men and women felt in the presence of the holiness of God on the earth. They felt 100% accepted. Psychologically, we know that what young children need to develop appropriately is to be known, is to be seen, is to be heard, is to be responded to and connected with. It's called attachment theory. And so I suggest today that you think about what it would be like to attach to Jesus Christ. If he says, "Come follow me," think about why and how they did that. Can you imagine today leaving your, $100,000 a year or $10,000 a year job, your home, your family, your children, everything you know? I want you to just leave everything, and I want you to come and follow me. I want you to move to Paris, or I want you to move to Istanbul, or I want you to move to Mexico. They told Heidi Baker, she says that God told her to sit with the poor in Africa. And she literally sat on the streets of Africa with the poor because she was following him. Who do you follow? Think about it. Okay, so if we follow somebody, what's going to happen? Like, what happens if I follow somebody on social media? Well, I'm included in all their posts, so I'm up to date and I feel like I belong. Belonging is a human need. When we are alone, I was single for years. I felt like I didn't belong. I was raised by a single mom, and so I didn't have a big, close family. And belonging and being part of something is so critical for well-being and flourishing. So here's what happens when you follow Jesus, the purpose of following Jesus specifically. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Some of you are like, Jesus, no, no, no. Some of you are like, I'm an evolutionarian. You know, I believe in evolution. Well, that doesn't mean you can't believe in Jesus. Some of you may say, I want nothing to do with Republicans and the previous party. And I respect that completely. This is not about politics. This is not about a religious denomination. This is about a relationship where you are seen and known and loved, that you feel so respected and so understood and so identified with and so connected to, you can't help but to drop everything and follow him because you know life will be better. And take it from me, it is. I used to follow myself and what I wanted. Fear of missing out, you know, all that. Worked in Hollywood, but I found out that that's all empty at the end of the day. He is fulfilling. And that must have been something about what these early disciples that followed him felt, to leave their businesses. So they followed Jesus. And here's in Matthew 10 what we read for a minute. Then Jesus summoned the 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to cure every disease and every sickness. These are the names of the apostles, the 12 apostles. So I want you to know these because they're important, right? They were like the first people to leave everything behind and follow him. Simon, known as Peter, his brother Andrew, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. Go nowhere among the Gentiles and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news. And this is what they got to do by following Jesus. The kingdom of heaven is near. So, what do you get when you follow somebody on social media? Do you get to taste a bit of heaven? And the kingdom of heaven was healing people. It was just praying for people. Just like, can I just pray for you? God bless you. And bam, they'd be healed because Jesus was a deity that walked the earth. He had flesh like you and me, but he was holy. And so when you were near him, I imagine you experienced his holiness. And so the kingdom of heaven had come. It had come to earth. That's why we celebrate Christmas. Jesus was born. Heaven touched down on earth. And the kingdom of heaven is casting out demons, and because people deal with a lot of trash and they feel bad. They're sick. They have ailments like fibromyalgia or diabetes or intestinal problems or mental illness. Perhaps some of that can be from evil, from oppression, what the Bible calls Satan. And he is real, and he does exist. He can exist in thoughts. He can exist in torture done to young children. So Jesus came to break all that off, to free people, to break the chains of injustice, against different races and nationalities, against slaves and Greeks and Gentiles and Jewish. Everybody, he said, is equal. Come follow me. This is the kingdom of heaven. It's healing and freedom in my name. So join me for the next few weeks and let's dive into what it's like to come and follow Jesus and the goodness of that.